Hello, this is episode 5, and we're here to talk about the fact that you have responsibility for your own happiness. You have the control, you set the limits, and we're no longer being victims. Let's get into it. I am Dr. Zen Johnson. Welcome to Unlearning Life as We Know It. I believe that we all deserve to be happy and that we have the ability to unlearn the old ways, learn new ways, and grow to become the greatest version of ourselves. Start your journey to a happier life right now. Hey there, thank you for joining me. This is episode 5, and we're talking about the fact that you're responsible for your own happiness. It may be hard to break it to you all because I know that it's so common that we are playing the victim role, even though we don't want to say that we're being victims, that we're putting ourselves in positions of victims, but that's exactly what it is. We're going to talk about that and how you need to set yourself free. But at the end of the day, it's all about the fact that you understand the power that you have and the fact that you're responsible for your own happiness. So let's get into it. You have the control. First off, I'm going straight in. You have the control. You set the limit for what your happiness meter is in your life. You have the control. No one else. Stop. We're not blaming anyone else. Stop being a victim. Because the first thing you want to say is, wait. I have control. No. He did this and she did that, and that's why I am unhappy. Really? Is that what we want to continue to believe? I mean, it is easy to point fingers. It's very easy to point fingers. But is that healthy to do? Do they really deserve so much control? Really? So you don't have control, but they have the control? That makes no sense, but it's your life, right? I'm telling you today that you have the control and that you no longer need to be a victim. And for you to first check in with yourself and remind yourself and stop putting yourself in a victim seat. I think the victim seat is one of the laziest seats ever. You're lazy as a victim. Why are you lazy? Because you don't have to do any work. You just point your fingers. He did that. She did that. They did this. This place wasn't there. Whatever it is, you just blame all day. And whenever you do that, when do you look inward? And if you never look inward, guess what? You never work on yourself. But if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably not one of those people, or you want to change from being one of those people anyway, because people like that don't even want to entertain a podcast like this, because I put it straightforward. Work on yourself right now. It's your fault. Get it together. That's what I'm all about. So if you're listening to this, you're probably not like that, but there's a very strong chance that you know someone very close to you that is like that. That is victim all the way. And we all have a little bit of it in us as well. We do. I'm just here to let you all know that you really do have more control than you think. And it's time to get out of that victim seat and go into a seat where you own your own happiness, that you do what you need to do to get there, and you take full responsibility. So, first step, no more victim role. That's the first step. Also understand that what you allow is what is done. If you don't allow it, it cannot be repeatedly done, right? I'll say that. The first time may be a shocker, like, I didn't know that person had it in them to treat me in this way. Fine. All right, so now we know. We've learned. And then here we are for the second round, right? It's no longer, we know who they are. So now it's up to you. It's who are you? What do you accept? What do you allow? And as long as you give the permission to someone else to treat you in a certain way, then that's exactly what they're going to do, because that's what they know. That's their comfort, to treat someone in a certain way that may not work for you. But if you allow it and you give the permission for it, then it will happen. And therefore, you allowed it, it's under your control. So that's your happiness meter. You brought it down a few notches. But you have to recognize that, and you have to own that, and you have to make yourself okay with the decision that you've made. Instead of sitting back and saying, well, he did that and she did this, and that's why I am where I am. No. Instead, the conversation with yourself is, I allowed this and I allowed that, but guess what? Not anymore. I'm better now. I'm stronger now. I'm healthier now. I know better now. I forgive myself. And your happiness meter goes up and up and up and up. All because you stopped being a victim and you took control. Because otherwise, let me tell you what you end up doing. You sit in that chair and you allow people to just boom, boom, boom. I mean, they just knocking you right to left. They're just going at you. And what are you waiting for? You're waiting for them to save you? You're waiting for them to say, okay, I'm done. You can be happy now. That will probably never happen. Because they're doing what they know. They're doing what they're comfortable with. You have allowed yourself to be comfortable with it. So why would they stop? What's their motive? You allow it. It's fun for them. So we're just going to keep on going. Next thing you know, years have gone by. Years have gone by. You have to take yourself out. If you want to get out of a certain situation, you own that. You have to remove yourself. If a person is getting joy, if a person is allowed to, they will continue to do whatever it is that they're doing. So you have to get out of that chair. You have to. No one's going to just serve you happiness on a platter. You have to know what you need, and you have to demand that within yourself. And as soon as you start treating yourself right, well, now you're setting the example of how everyone else should be treating you as well. But if you treat yourself like crap, guess what? So is everyone else. They're going to treat you like they see you treat yourself. Or worse. So it's very important that you take that ownership, but understand that whatever has happened, you allowed it in some fashion. Accept that responsibility. I know that it's very easy to blame others. That's comfortable to do. That is so comfortable to sit back and blame everyone else for what your life is. But as soon as you take your control back, take it back and look into yourself and no longer blame other people, that's whenever change can actually occur. And that's what you truly do want. You want change. You want better. So how do you gain that control back? Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and have a conversation and just break down what it is that you need. And how did you get here? How did I get here? What in the world? Life will hit you like that. You know, you can think that everything is golden, or you can know that everything is not golden. You can be well aware that everything is not golden, but 10 years later, you're still sitting in the same seat that you thought you would never be in. You swore up and down, this would never happen to you. I would never stay that long. No way. And the years just go by. And here you are, looking just like the person you said you would never look like. Right? That could be someone in the past, a parent, whatever it is that you say, I'll never deal with that. And you may be sitting there dealing with the exact same thing. Life has a way of speeding up and then slowing down. And it slows down for you to have just enough time to analyze what the hell is going on. Right? How the hell? What in the world is going on? Life will speed up and then slow down and be like, now look what happened. And you have to look at yourself in the mirror and just say, okay, this is what's going on. This is what happened. I take full ownership of exactly what has occurred and what I have allowed. Now, I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to forgive myself for allowing certain things to happen in my life. I'm going to forgive myself for allowing this person to treat me in the way that they have treated me. For some reason, I allowed them to do that. Maybe I didn't think I was worthy of something better. Maybe I believed in them more than I believed in myself. Maybe I loved them more than I loved myself. So then let me unpack that too. What's that about? Why did I put them first instead of myself? And once it's all said and done, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and let that go. Forgive yourself and let that go. That is how you begin to take your control back. Forgive yourself. You didn't know better, and now you do. You know, you're a different person than who you were before. You've grown. You've gotten into a space where you know better. So forgive yourself and begin to move forward, because now you know. If nothing else, you know your worth. You love yourself more. You know what you want for yourself. You know what you want for your family, your kids, whatever it may be. You know more. So don't sit in pity with this. And don't become disgusted with yourself and angry with yourself for long. I'll say that. There's stages to it all. You may be in that moment for a minute, but hey, pick yourself right back up. If you find yourself there, put on this episode of the podcast and let this remind you, pick yourself back up. Don't even spend a full day there. Okay? Don't even spend a full day. If you find yourself getting in that way, go take a nap. Wake back up. Naps really do heal. They really do. Go take a nap and wake back up. Shake it off. Forgive yourself and start moving forward. There's nothing we can do about the past. It's done. But what we can do is focus on our present. And as long as our present is correct and right, then our future is automatically taken care of. Just continue to live in the present moment and just like finesse it. You know what I mean? And soon your future, you're going to be okay. It's all coming together. So don't beat up on yourself. Don't do that. Forgive yourself and move forward. Forgive yourself and move forward. All right. So now that we know how to release that control from other people, right? Like we're taking it back. We're forgiving ourselves. We're getting ourselves all together now, right? So how do you now control your happiness? Because what you've done, you've allowed other people to control what's happening. And now you're going to control your own happiness, right? So let's talk about how that's done. First off, design what you want. Do you know what you want? Think about it. Do you know what you need and what you want? Think about that and design it. What does that look like? Write a new story. Write your own story. And this can be done through journaling. I'm a huge advocate of journaling. This can be done through journaling. This can be done through vision boards. This can be done through just your imagination while you're sitting at a stoplight. I don't care. But write a new story. Design the life that you want. This is under your control. It's all under your control. So what do you want? Understand what you want. Because, it seems easy, but that can be kind of hard to do whenever you've been possibly so dependent on someone else to run your life. And all of a sudden, here you are trying to find yourself and figure yourself out and know yourself. Because if you've been following behind someone else forever, you really do have to take the time to sit back. And that can take some months. If you're really doing the work, that can take a while to sit back and say, well, who am I? What do I like? I don't even know what kind of foods I like because I've been cooking for them. And you sit back and you're like, okay, let me spend time with myself. Let me spend time with myself and get to know myself, what I like, what I dislike, and let me design what I want my life to be. Let me create a whole new story, because what I do know is that the story that I've been in, that I've been playing a lead role in, is not working for me anymore. So let me write a new story, and that's what you do. Vision boards are awesome. Vision boards are awesome. Like I said, journaling is great. And just use your imagination. It can be that easy. Don't make this difficult. Really don't. The main thing is that you understand. You understand. No one else has to understand it. Don't feel like you need to explain it to anyone. This is for you to understand. So make sure you understand what you want. It can take some work. It can take some time. Be patient with yourself. But in the midst of all of that, believe in yourself. Don't look for someone else to believe in you. It starts with you. Believe in yourself and who you are, and the fact that you are a powerful soul. If you really believe that, and your mindset is in line, and your heart is in line, oh my goodness, you will be so surprised what you can accomplish. You will accomplish something bigger than anything you would have journaled, anything you would have dreamed about, anything you would have visualized. I'm telling you, it will amaze you. You are so powerful. I'm here to tell you, we are powerful beings. You have an amazing, powerful soul. I feel that. You are amazing, and you are powerful, and you can accomplish anything you want to. Believe that. I believe it for you. But I can believe it all day. But if you don't believe it, then it moves nowhere. So believe in yourself and understand that you're a powerful, powerful soul. If you stand on that, make that your new foundation, you can conquer the world. And everything that you're journaling and you're visualizing, it can happen plus more than you would have ever expected. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So another way to make sure that you have all the control of your happiness now, we're getting further and further in. Take the keys away from anyone else that you have given keys to in the past to control your happiness. Think of it this way. You're a TV, okay? And you have given remotes to all of these different people, okay? Maybe you gave a remote to your parents and your partner and your children and your siblings and your boss at work, whatever it may be. You've given these people remotes to your happiness, and they can just press the remote and basically it's them saying something, and all of a sudden you're angry. All of a sudden you're disappointed. All of a sudden you're back to being in that victim mode again. And what I'm telling you is take back all the remotes. No. There's only one remote, and you have that remote. You own that remote. Take away all of the remotes that you have given them. Don't say they took it. We're not being victims anymore. You gave them the remote at some point, but you're now taking it back. So there may be plenty, a whole drawer full. It does not matter. Take them back and remember that now you have the control. And believe me, tests will come. Several tests will come. Every day a test will come. And this takes practice. This takes work. You know, I'm in practice mode all the time. All the time. But the key is just to have the awareness and continue to hold your own remote and not allow other people to press those buttons. You know, take control and don't be a victim. You control your life now. You control your happiness now. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm telling you. The other thing that I want to say in controlling your own happiness, because you know, it all depends on it's different for everyone. We could be talking about relationships for one person. We could be talking about a job for another person. We could be talking about friendships. We could be talking about, you know, whatever. It could be something. As I'm talking, you all are listening, and we all have different perspectives. We're all going through something, right? And so I just want to say, make sure you use all of your resources. Use all of your resources. They're out there. I don't care if you social media is one way, for sure. I love social media because, man, the truth is out now. The truth is out. What you may have thought was hard becomes easier because it's right there at your fingertips. All the answers are there. Between social media and Google and YouTube, you're good to go. It really takes little effort sometimes in finding what you need to find to move forward in the way that you need to move forward. So use all of your resources and don't give up on yourself. You're going to hit some bumps possibly as you're changing. And let me tell you, whenever you start taking remotes from people and they realize, what, I don't control that person's happiness anymore. Oh, they may spaz out. You may begin to see a different side of them. And you realize how much they really dependent on what was happening with you. They were so dependent on you. They needed that. They needed that. And now you're taking those remote controls. You'll be surprised at how some people may act out. They may not like it because now you're no longer doing what they wanted you to do. You're no longer reacting the way that they are used to you reacting. And a lot of people don't know what to do with that at all. So I'm giving you a warning right now. When that happens, if that happens, do not let it sway you. Remember everything that we've been talking about over the past few weeks, the past month or so now. Just remember all of that. Don't let it sway you because you know who you are and you have the remote control over your happiness. You can't control theirs. So stay together, stay with yourself and just observe. Just observe, and you really get to understand and know who people truly are. It's very interesting. But in the midst of all of that, do not let it knock you down. And don't give up on yourself. No one else has to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Only you have to understand it. So don't give up on yourself. Stay in the game. You deserve it. You control your own happiness. And you deserve everything that you should have. Go get it. Go get your peace. Go get your joy. Go get your happiness. Go get it. It's right there. Just sweep it right on up and put it back in your heart. It's for you. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. But then we can continue on our Facebook group, Unlearning Life as We Know It. Let's go on there. Let's continue this conversation for sure. I'll be back next week with another great awakening topic as well. And on the Facebook group, please list like any questions that you may have for me, any concerns, anything that you're like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. You know, I plan on doing just some 5-minute like Q&A type deal. So also you can leave like voice messages through Spotify if you are using Spotify to look at the podcast. So, hey, I'm here. And like I said, it's all about healing and growing together. So we're going to stop there for today and take control of your happiness, y'all. You deserve it. You really, really do. We're doing this great work, and let's not end here. Stick with it. And if you need help, reach out. That's what the Facebook group is all about. Reach out. A great community of people. We're here to just support, you know? So have an amazing week. I love you all. Thank you so much. And go and get your happiness. Thank you. I am Dr. Zen Johnson, and you've been listening to Unlearning Life as We Know It podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dr. Zen Johnson. If you haven't yet, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Join me next week for another awakening conversation. Thank you for listening.